In the shadows of a life sentence, a vision was born, not of bitterness, but of change.
I had 60 years without the possibility of parole, which is a life sentence in Connecticut.
Yeah, right.
Terrence Stevenson, once sentenced to 60 years without parole, is now leading a mission to rewrite the stories of our youth.
I happened to get out and met some brothers that was formerly incarcerated. They was doing a job training program.
Okay.
Did the job training program. The brothers were so impressed with me. They said, listen, we might have a job opportunity for you.
Through CTVIP, Joe mentors at-risk youth, meeting them where they are, helping them rise where others see failure.
We ask kids to do good, to be good, but it's hard when you have so many different things and so many different variables working against the children.
From walking back into the juvenile court that once held him, to now lifting others out, Terrence proves redemption is not just possible, it's powerful.
99% of the time, they don't have a father figure. 99% of the time, they don't even have any type of male, positive male influences in their life.
This is more than a story. It's a movement, a brotherhood, and a message. We are not the worst thing we've ever done.
The place was painted the same color as it was back in like 1989. Smelled the same, looked almost exactly the same.
That's powerful to remember a distinct smell. Like, that's how much of an impact or trauma that, you know what I'm saying, it put on you.
Hey, Bobby. Hey. Hey, come here, girl. That's not bad. Hey. That's you be doing all that yapping on the phone? Huh? Yeah. Get over here, man.
My work that I do now, that I've been allowed to do, is just in my, book, just a manifestation of, my remorse, my contrition, the wrongs that I want to right from my past.
Right.
They may look a little murky now, but I think that we have some sunny days ahead of us.
Let's get it. Thank you once again for joining Locked Up and Locked Out, the podcast. Another episode, man, and another amazing guest. You have the distinct pleasures of letting the audience know who you are.
My name is Terrence Stevenson. To friends and family, affectionately Joe.
Okay, yes. Man, it's amazing having you here, man. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here,
Yes,
brother.
sir. Yes, sir.
You know it.
So let's dive right in. How has resubmerging yourself in society, you know what I'm saying, after so long, how has that been? And what are you doing? I know you're doing tremendous, you know what I'm saying, great things for the community.
Well, obviously, it has its challenges.
Yeah.
After, getting out of prison, for a lot of reasons, being someone that's formerly incarcerated comes with, a lot of stigma.
Right.
But I think, for us, people like you and I, I think we have something that's good in the sense that, a lot of us who was locked up around the same time, who grew, very, very close bonds, happen to just, get out all at the same time.
Right.
So,
but not to cut you off, we can't skip over, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. I get it. Go ahead.
We can't graze over, you know what I'm saying, the significant amount of time that they gave us, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you in particular, you know what I'm saying? So can you tell them that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I had 60 years without the possibility of parole, which is a life sentence in Connecticut.
Yeah, right, that's heavy. Man, how do you adjust mentally, like the balancing of relationships, family, getting reacquainted, you know what I'm saying, with children? How many children you have?
Just one.
Okay. You know, you just gotta be careful, you know what I'm saying? I don't wanna say the wrong thing, get nobody in trouble. But like, how has that been? You know what I'm saying? Like, our children is everything, you know what I'm saying? That fueled the fight, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No doubt.
85% of the fight, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, the mental part, and then, you know what I'm saying, putting, you know, foot to, you know what I'm saying, some books.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
So, you know as well as I that, you know, getting out of prison has its challenges.
Yes.
Like I said, a lot of stigma, you know, hurdles, finding employment and stuff like that. But what I was saying is that, you know, I think that we are in a unique situation because, you know, a group of us, not at the same time, but around the same time, happen to get out, you know, and we've all been able to lean on each other,
Absolutely.
you know, for support. And I can speak for myself when I say, you know, brothers like you know, brothers like, you know, we were just talking about Nat, you know, calling me every morning, stuff like it. That was, I can say, you know, without a doubt that was one of the main things that made my transition smooth.
Right. I mean, when you have somebody that understand the flight, and the ability of, you know what I'm saying, goodness that's just generally in you, you know what I'm saying, to do good and excel and succeed beyond all expectations, you know what I'm saying, because the greatest expectation is the expectations that we place upon oneself.
Preach.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, felon wasn't an option for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, going back to my community and help tearing it down wasn't even a possibility. Like, I know I gotta, you know, like, man, sleeping on a park bench if need be, like, just go through it to get where I want to be at. You know what I'm saying? It was like something I was willing to do. I already put it in my mind, like, this is, you know what I mean, one of them fights when you see Connecticut versus Stevenson, Connecticut versus Carmen, you know, you're going against an entity far greater than oneself. For me, we have no resources. People, you know, that you love are in hardship themselves. So you're basically coming out scratching and clawing, you know what I'm saying, from the door. But through the mercy of Allah, God, Jah, you know, whatever people call them, we're fortunate to have a band of brothers that's come home periodically, you know what I'm saying, through the years, and everybody's falling in line in the sense of doing the right things for the right reasons. And to that point, you got a job dealing with children. How is that mentally and the rewards that you get personally, you know what I'm saying, for seeing you steering, and do you get rebuke from family members or trying to correct children? Like, what's going on with that?
Well, first I want to say that, you know, while I was inside, you know, I saw myself doing this work. I didn't, you know, couldn't see it clearly, you know, because it was just me, you know, imagining and, you know, wanting. But, you know, Allah was merciful. I happened to get out and met some brothers that was formerly incarcerated. They was doing a job training program.
Okay.
Did the job training program. The brothers were so impressed with me. They said, listen, we might have a job opportunity for you. You know, it's going to be a position on Indeed, you know. fill out the application and apply for the position. And I did, the name of the organization is called CTVIP, located on 230 Ashmore Street. It's run by Brother Jahad Leonard. And they gave me a shot. So what we do is we work with, the most at-risk kids in our community.
That's special.
From ages, I have kids on my caseload from the age of 11 to 18.
Right.
And all, exhibit kind of, what you would call, juvenile delinquent behavior in different ways.
Right.
Some are in the, stealing cars, some are in the just not going to school, not doing nothing. But how we approach it is, ultimately, through the work, we want to, create safer communities.
Right.
And,
Absolutely.
the way we achieve that is by, engaging kids where they're at, connecting them to services, conflict mediation, de-escalation tactics.
Right.
But mostly, in my opinion, it's really just mentoring.
Right.
Caring.
Right.
Being a consistent and positive black male role model in kids' life. In my opinion, that's how you get the long-term
Right.
rewards. You can give kids things and, take them places to get them to act a certain way, right for right now. But I believe, the way you plant the seeds that's going to turn young boys into men, is by just showing up.
Right. Presence. To your point, I believe community, man, is more than the house in which we
Indeed.
inhabit. You know what I'm saying? Inhabitant. We must be present. You know what I'm saying? Vigilant. We ask kids to do good, to be good, but it's hard when you have so many different things and so many different variables working against the children. They may have lack of food, lack of resources, lack of love, lack of empathy, for their situation. Like you said, we got to meet these children where they're at. And many times we turn our back. Case in point, if we were to believe what everybody said, he's bad, he's no good, we wouldn't be in the positions that we're in. Because for me, people said, one person, a judge said, well, he's unredeemable. He has no redeemable qualities. How is this possible? You know what I'm saying? That you meet somebody and from alleged act, you color a whole person's life as unredeemable. And I believe we grow in stages. My mentality of 5 years ago or 10 years ago, 30 years ago are not reflected of who I am today. So let's give these children the same courtesy. I mean, the acts, they have to pay for them, of course, but let's, do this responsibly. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for, everything you're doing and the organization that you work with are doing. We need more of that.
Mm-hmm. One of the things, I find most fulfilling about the work that I do is, you meet a kid and, 99% of the time they're, living in poverty. 99% of the time they don't have a father figure. 99% of the time they don't even have any type of male positive male influences in their life. So when you meet them, their guards are usually up.
Right.
They're distrustful, leery, skeptical of you.
Right.
But the more you show up consistently, every day, and sometimes I'm telling you, you feel like, am I doing the right? You question yourself sometimes.
Right.
But what I found is that just showing up, every day consistently, being, a positive example. Kids sniff out the people that
Absolutely.
don't have good intentions, the people that do got good intentions. And so you'll meet a kid one day, and he's just not trying to even listen to you a little bit. He like, I ain't around for none of this. Then you fast forward 7 months and, he's so comfortable with you, so vulnerable with you.
Right.
And you can see you have influence over this kid, in a positive way. So personally, that's one of the things that's most fulfilling. Because I was one of those little kids,
Right. How do you feel? Do the families of these children meet you halfway? Are they more on board of your tactics? Are they meeting, with a road merges? Are they interested in resolutions? Solving the day-to-day problems that they see their children having?
I mean, obviously, it's case by case, but generally speaking, I haven't met a parent yet that doesn't want the best for their kid.
It's just, from the perspective of, playing devil advocate.
And I get it.
Just to
right,
get out there.
Right, see, but I come from where most of these kids come from. So I can interpret a parent's reaction to my presence, or, because at the end of the day, when you have a juvenile that's been in juvenile court, juvenile probation, sometimes have other agencies in their lives, I'm coming as like, for the most part, another agency, because you got DCF and probation and the police and all this. And sometimes those interactions are not, the most pleasant, but I understand why.
Right.
But
serious stuff.
right. So, but the more, I talk to parents, let them know a little bit about myself, how I could relate. Usually, the guards come down and we really could get to the nuts and bolts of trying to figure out how we could, help the kid.
So being that you work with all these different agencies, because we had phobias, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get to that in a minute, but there's colorful and good people on all ours, on you know what I'm saying,
on both
levels,
sides,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and you got some bad people
on both sides.
You know what I'm saying? As we know, you know what I'm saying? How has that experience been for you? Is it an awakening, or like just one of them aha moments to whereas you're learning as you're going along?
A lot of learning.
Yeah, and because it got to be a real growth span.
It
you
is,
know what I'm saying?
And to a lot of people around my office say, "Oh, Terrence, you do this work so easily." Da 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 da. But the reality is I got a lot of experience in my building, brothers that, formerly incarcerated from the community in which we serve, who've been doing the work for 10, 15 years. And in the beginning, I was just like a sponge, soaking it up.
Right.
But one of the aha moments I had was, down at the Welly Avenue Juvenile Courthouse. That used to be juvenile detention back in the day, but it's just a courthouse now. So, one of my kids is downstairs after having been taken into custody in the courtroom.
Wow, that.
So I go down to see him in the lockup area. And because
let's take a time out for a moment, because mentally you had to have an out of body experience. You know what I'm saying? Just going through that whole phase. What is that like? mentally, you know what I'm saying? How was that? Wow, like how was you able to adjust to that, you know what I'm saying, mentally?
It was tough. This is the crazy part. The place was painted the same color as it was back in like 1989. Smelled the same, looked almost exactly the same.
That's powerful to remember a distinct smell. Like, that's how much of an impact or a trauma that, you know what I'm saying, it put on you. Like,
but let me say this though. As kind of triggering as it was in that moment,
right.
My little man needed me. So,
yeah. You know what I'm saying, you rose to the occasion like you always do.
Yeah, and it gives you, and I think you could agree, you know, a lot of these kids are on, you know, not the best track, right?
Right.
But having been down that track, it gives you an ability to be compassionate in ways people can't that haven't experienced it, you know.
Right. And I think, you know, being that you going down that road, that you come with another set skill that you're able, you know what I'm saying, to reach these kids where, you know what I'm saying, all help, you know what I'm saying, all else has been lost, like on them. Like, man, I wash my hands, he's bad, you know what I'm saying? Nah, he's just misunderstood, you know what I'm saying? He's making bad decisions because his mind hasn't allowed him, you know what I'm saying, to catch up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still an adolescent, you know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of people miss.
And that's what's lost on so many people when you talk about juvenile delinquency. Like, not society, but those who've done the reading and the research know that this is part and parcel of a developing brain, like bad decision making. And you can't get around it. I don't care what socioeconomic circumstances you come from. If you're 13 or 14, generally you're going to make bad decisions. You know what I mean?
You're not going to make
now the difference, but the difference between, you know, the kids I work with and, you know, affluent kids is, you know, affluent kids have resources. They have two parents in the house, so they have things of that nature. Whereas a kid that I work with, you know, don't have the resources. So, you know, his mistakes are kind of magnified.
It means a lot. I mean, because, you know, if it's hard to argue a point that economics having a meal, 3 meals a day, you know, a snack during the midday or something, you know,
bed to sleep
it's not going to change, you know what I'm saying, the mindset. If you have nothing, you got to scrap by for everything that you get, it turns you, you know what I'm saying, as a child to become something other than what you truly want to be. And that's where we're at a crossroad where we must really, you know what I'm saying, run to these children, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, I identify, I see you, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not going to allow you to go through this by yourself. That's where I believe these kids act out these video games, living their life vicarious through different means, you know what I'm saying, from the reality, you know, trying to escape the reality of such, you know what I'm saying, brokenness, you know what I'm saying, or at the point where they feel as though they don't have any hope, you know what I'm saying, like, don't nobody care for me, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, that's a hell of a thing for a child to feel, you know what I'm saying, like, nobody love them, nobody cares, you know what I'm saying, like, nobody's there, you know? Like, and by you showing up in your army of people that you work with each and every day, they're showing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we care, you know what I'm saying? We're here. And there's other community based organizations that's doing the same thing. And to them, you know, kudos. So let's pivot for a minute. How has it been for Mr. Stevenson, you know what I'm saying, coming home? You know what I'm saying? Like, been, you know what I'm saying, like that whole thing, man, you know what I'm saying? We touched a little second, you know what I'm saying, on it, but like really, how has that been?
It's been great.
Yeah.
Now, honestly, obviously, you know, just like life for anybody, you
Right.
have your good days, you have your
Right,
bad days.
absolutely.
But ultimately, you know, I have no complaints. You know, my son is sitting there, and I have
That's an amazing thing too, man. Thank you for coming up, brother.
Blessed, man.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? But could you have imagined this in a million years? Like it being so good, you know what I'm saying? Like
I could have imagined me eventually getting out of prison, but I couldn't, honestly.
Like your
I
life
couldn't-
is so enriched.
I couldn't
man, you know
imagine
what
my
I'm
life
saying?
being this good. No.
Like I sit back, you know what I'm saying, at times and just be at awe, like, wow, man, like nobody can tell me that God isn't real. You know what I'm saying? Like we're living proof that He's real.
Indeed.
The things that He's done in our lives personally, you know what I'm saying, proves that He's real. You had some crazy people, you know, at a mixed up time in their life. You know what I'm saying? That just straighten out and dedicated our lives to helping others, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that take a special type of person. You know what I'm saying? Because most people, when coming home from doing so much time, your sole purpose is just like getting the structure back with your family, working and doing what you got to do, and just staying out the way, so to speak. We're in the way, you know what I'm saying? We're like, nah, man, you know, enough is enough. We seen it and we've been through it all, you know what I'm saying? And God has put us here in this day and time to do exactly what we're doing, you know what I'm saying? And I thank Him, man, you know what I'm saying, all the way. Because, man, it was nasty, you know what I'm saying? Like, we seen some bad days, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
In that war. And a lot of people didn't make it home. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people in there still fighting. And there's a lot of people that just passed away being in that war. Man, so it's just like to see you here and to know the community that we had of being the brothers that, you know what I'm saying, really was on that legal route. Like, man, listen, hard body, man, listen, I don't care where you at, I'm gonna get a note to you, you know what I'm saying? I need, you know what I'm saying, you to look up this case and find out, you know what I'm saying, what you can on this, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm over here, I'm fighting such and such. All right, I mean, I got you, you know what I'm saying? Give me, you know what I'm saying, a couple days and I'll shoot something back, you know what I'm saying, your way. And that started the brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you got people that we really wasn't friends with that was on different spectrums of the town, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how, you know, that stupid nonsense, but became official, you know what I'm saying, brothers that we love and near and that's near and dear to our hearts that we'll go to bat for any day at a time. And they've come out sharp and putting it down in the sense of, you know what I'm saying, helping society, being a contributor to society versus, you know what I'm saying, a person that's abstracting things, the minerals from the earth, you know what I'm saying, and looking, you know what I'm saying, past as if, you know, it's everything is fair, you know what I'm saying, seeming, or it's just a given that we can take and do whatever we want to do when we want to do it. But we put restraints on ourselves to whereas our lives are more enriched. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, man, we done a hell of a job, man. It's a job to continue, you know what I'm saying, to be done. Helping these children, helping mothers and fathers understand, like, yo, listen, man, we cannot just stand idly by as if, you know what I'm saying, what's happening is not happening. Our cities, our towns are in a crisis, you know what I'm saying? Like, our children, they're in need, you know what I'm saying? And the little girls, you know, need, you know what I'm saying, love in their fathers and mothers, you know, just to be a better person because they feel as though their backs is against the wall, you know what I'm saying? We gotta ease, you know what I'm saying, that pressure, man. We gotta take that pressure away from them and put that on our backs, man, and help them any and all ways that we can. Anything that you wanna, you know what I'm saying, give to the locked up and locked out community?
I mean, I think that for the most part, I'm trying to think for a second, but, you know, 99% of the guys that I know that, you know, I did time with are out here doing great things.
Thank God. Yeah.
And that gives me hope for the future because I know that, you know, when I was young and I was inside, there was brothers, older brothers, you know, morally upright brothers that kept me on the straight and narrow. And I think that now that you have so many alike brothers that's out in the community, you know, making a difference, you know, impacting the community in a positive way, I think that, you know, we have some good times ahead of us. It may look a little murky now, but I think that we have some sunny days ahead of us.
How are you causing true change and effect in these children's life?
So, like I said, I work for a company called Connecticut Violence Intervention Program. And when I tell you we work with, you know, some of the most at-risk kids in the city, it's not hyperbole, like, trust me.
To that.
So how we get the kids is usually they refer to our program through school, a family member, or juvenile probation.
Okay.
That's how we get them. Most of the time it's probably through juvenile probation. So, you know.
So these kids are basically in the thick of
they're
things.
they're literally in the criminal justice system.
Right.
Yes.
Oh man.
And then how do you help? Like how do you help them? Like.
Okay, all right. So that was the question. So
I mean that was good.
I mean, so we help them in really a number of ways. So first by, you know, engaging them,
right.
Identifying, you know, what their, you know, issues are. Like I said, some kids, you know, have, you know, violent criminal backgrounds. Right. Some kids don't.
Right.
But, you know, how I approach kids is I have like a cookie cutter approach. You know, I lead with, you know, my heart. But so when we identify what the issues is, you know, if it's poverty, we, you know, get them connected with services. You know, we give out a lot of money through our organization for, you know, for things from, you know, kid may need a bed, or kid may just need food to eat, you know.
Do your program help with rent and things of that nature?
We have, we have. In a crisis situation, if a family needs emergency housing, we help with that. But we not just help with that, but we collaborate, you know, with a lot of different agencies, Project Longevity, Clifford Bears, Juvenile Probation, you name it.
Now, how do you handle the educational side when you have kids that's delinquents and things of that nature that don't want to show up for school and things of that nature? Because there is another issue that's lingering that's never spoken about. Maybe the inability to read on the level in which they're supposed to be reading on, or some hidden, you know, like. So
none of us that I know of in the building are, you know, teachers or former teachers. Right. But what we do is we work collaboratively with schools. Some of us are even literally in the schools. You know, making sure kids, the biggest part is just making sure kids are in the building.
Right.
You know, if you could get a kid in the school, that, in my opinion, that's half the battle.
Right.
You know, and then, you know, every, you know, case manager is different. I like to, you know, pop in on my kids in school. And it's just, for me, it's just one layer, extra layer of supervision. So if they already got a parent that's kind of on it, and then here I come dropping in on your class sometime. The kids that, you know, that, how could I say, that want to do good, all they need is a little nudge, you know?
Right. Yeah, man. I cause, you know, you in certain, like, conversations, you're so amped that you have a guest to really shed some light on some situations, and you bypass the meat and potatoes sometimes, trying to pack everything in.
Yeah.
So I had to, you know.
Yeah, indeed.
Circle around again.
But I do want to share one thing. So, you know, I got out through what was called a sentence modification.
So what does that mean?
In layman's terms, so a sentence modification is just a petition to the court where you're asking, you know, the court to consider, you know, any, you know, rehabilitation that you may have gone through, and, you know, determining if the sentence that you was previously sentenced to was, you know, fair and proper presently. So through that channel, I ended up getting out, right? But anytime you file like a sentence modification, you want to, you know, make a statement to the court, you know, expressing your remorse and your contrition. And for me, you know, part of my desire to, you know, work with youth to prevent, you know, the type of catastrophes that I went through, you know, remorse and contrition was always at the forefront of my mind, you know, because in my mind, you know, my work that I do now, that I've been allowed to do, is just, in my, you know, book, just a manifestation of, you know, my remorse, my contrition, you know, the wrongs that I want to right from my past.
Right. Oh man, listen, I understand it. Like, the road of redemption. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to have that. Like, yo, man, I'm definitely not the person of yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, judge me on my character and how I conduct myself from this day on. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I hope to be exemplary, you know what I'm saying? Like, an honorable, stand-up, genuine, you know what I'm saying, individual. Am I going to hit the mark all the time? No, because nobody's perfect in this world. But it damn sure doesn't stop me from trying. And I think that's the case with us all, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have something to prove to society and to ourselves, frankly, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we are not, you know what I'm saying, tied by the chains of yesterday, you know what I'm saying? Like, today is a new day, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna live it. Word up, man. Come on, man.
Yes, sir.
Because I know about the many people you helped behind that wall, and it continues. Because I wholeheartedly believe anything worth having, you have to work hard for. You know what I'm saying? And I damn sure ain't got a problem working hard on the behalf of the children, you know what I'm saying, that's out there, you know what I'm saying, struggling, you know what I'm saying, just like, yo, listen, man, I get it, man. I was once you know what I'm saying? Probably not to that degree, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, we're one and the same, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we can't shy, but none of us are shying away from, you know what I'm saying, being part of the solution, you know what I'm saying? Being that may we be on panels for bringing true change to the communities, or help, pass a bill that's going to affect the communities at large, brothers and sisters in prison, brothers and sisters that's out here trying to find their way. It's just a blessed day, man, you know what I'm saying, to have a sober discussion with, you know what I'm saying, a brother such as yourself. And like, I enjoy, talking to professors and things and picking their brains. But, it's something really special when I'm able to send across from somebody that we've shared in pain, loss of a loved one, and we rallied around one another, you know what I'm saying, there and now, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a continued bond that can never be broken. It only grows stronger. And with that strength, I believe that, like you said, the tide is definitely going to turn to the best, you know what I'm saying? So better days is definitely on the horizon. And I thank all my listeners, man, each and every time that they click on and subscribe to the YouTube page and say, yeah, this is worth checking in on, you know what I'm saying? Because truth be told, it's so much murkiness out there. It's hard to decipher between what's good and what's, you know what I'm saying, authentic and what's tainted, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I just give a buck every time I come. You know, I'm trying to get better and have better questions for my guests. And the sincerity, I hope, shines through regardless, you know what I'm saying? So thank everybody for joining another episode of Locked Up and Locked Out, the podcast. And thank you, my brother, for joining me, you know what I'm saying, in this fight. Love you.
Love you too.